Hey, I'm back, and I'm back with a fruit stand. Why? Don't ask questions you don't need to know the answers to. Got it? Good. Let's move on. Welcome back to the Bluebell Duck Gaming Channel. As you can tell, I've rearranged the room a little bit and gotta spice it up every now and then. Before I come your way with those timestamps, I do want to just note a few things real quick. The first thing I want you to know is I created a doc hotline within my Discord, so if there's anything that is pressing or that you can't figure out or my video fails to address, don't hesitate to reach out to me within that hotline. Second, I stream once a week, every Wednesday. I do a playing with viewers. I have a lot of fun and people really enjoy their time getting their asses kicked by me. If you think you can better me, feel free to join in every Wednesday, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. If there's anything that you want to see more of in the future, do not hesitate to comment below and let me know. I do read those comments, I am receptive, and I am always trying to improve my channel. I'm getting you those timestamps right now so that you can go to any part of the video you would like. And with that, let's go ahead and get on into this Rocket League Insider tutorial for beginners. Alright, so here I am. I've searched for Rocket League Insider. I'm going to go ahead and click on this first link, and this is the first screen you're going to see. As you can tell, I speak English, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it with English. And then I trade primarily on Xbox. Sometimes I trade on PC, but for the most part, I stick to Xbox. What you're seeing right now is the Rocket League Insider homepage. There's no need to log in or do anything like that. It is simple as it can be, and that is a price guide. I do want to clarify some things about Rocket League Insider real quick before we go any further. This is a guide. This is not the tried and true, de facto, going to be the exact amount that you're going to get for an item. Just because you see a price on here does not necessarily mean that you actually receive that when you're trading for an item on Rocket League Garage or through Discord. These are ballpark estimates that have been gathered through this team's analytical process and data mining capabilities. On Rocket League Insider, they even say themselves that they exclude outliers and they just try and do the more centralized trades, what is the highest likelihood. I'm not going to dive too deep into all of that concept because I have a separate video that you can go ahead and watch where I cover a lot of the ins and outs of negotiating and how pricing really works. Just know that these prices are not exact. They are good estimates though, and I really do think that you should use Rocket League Insider as a reference for any items or any trade you're going into where you don't know the exact value or you're unfamiliar with that item's value. Okay, moving on. As you can see, there are a lot of different filters that we can break our search down by. But before we do that, I want to cover some of the basics just so you understand what you're looking at. Whatever item you search for within Rocket League Insider, this spreadsheet is going to auto-populate for that particular item. Some things to note about this spreadsheet. For any one item that you are going to purchase, there can be up to 14 different colored variants of that particular item. As a result, Rocket League Insider has created a spreadsheet that encompasses all 14 potential color variants. Without even searching for anything, Rocket League Insider has displayed for us some of the more popular items that are traded on Rocket League. If you look here, you'll see that there is an Interstellar and its listed prices. Interstellar has 14 different color variants. It has the default color variant and it has 13 others that are white, gray, crimson, pink, cobalt, sky blue, etc. As you're looking at this spreadsheet, you'll notice that each colored variant has a price. Right here, I'm looking at the Interstellar default skin, which is going for 1.4 to 1.5k credits. And what that is signifying is that the average Interstellar black market decal is going for that price or around that price. One thing you'll note as we go through this tutorial is that the white variants of every single item that has them is always going to be more. Why? I don't know. People like white. Yes, it's not even really that cool of a color. Moving on, we have the wet paint black market decal. Here is a dash mark. This dash mark is signifying that there is no paint variant available in all of Rocket League. It doesn't exist. If you were to go and buy a set of items and an item has that dash mark in one of those colors, that color is not going to exist when you buy a set from someone. If you're going through these trades and you run into someone who you feel like is trying to scam you because they're leaving one out, go double check and make sure that that variant that they have left out exists, because it very well might not exist. This Trigon, for example, does not have a black variant, it does not have a gray variant. Anytime you find an empty cell while going through the spreadsheet, make sure to fact check yourself. Sometimes it means that there is no item, sometimes it's just an error in how the spreadsheet has been filled. We can use this awesome search bar right here, so if I was looking for an octane, I would just type in octane, and right away it populates all the different variants that are available. One thing to note, if you search for an item and it does not automatically populate, even if you have the correct spelling, that means that that item is not a tradable item. What constitutes as an untradable item? That is a good question. I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but I'm sure you can look up a list. I know, for example, any items you get from the Rocket League tournaments, those are not tradable items and they will not pop up here. At least some of them. I don't know. You might need to fact check me on that. I know some of them won't pop up. Now let's take a look at some of the filtering options we can use to break down Rocket League Insider. Here you'll see all the different panels that we can sort by. For example, if I don't want to search an item and I just want to browse through items as a whole, I can go by cars, I can go by decals, paint finishes, I can go by wheels, boosts, hoppers, antennas, goal explosions, trails, engine audios. Look at that. Some of you don't even know that you can probably trade for engine audios, banners, and avatar borders. Anything you can think of that is tradable, it is priced here in Rocket League Insider. I didn't even know you could trade for avatar borders until a few weeks ago, but there's a crimson avatar crown border that I now really want. Additionally, while we're inside of a particular category, we can also come up to this sorting button. So if you want to see what the most expensive item is for a particular category of items within Rocket League, you can go ahead and say sort by price descending. So now it's going to bring the highest valued items at the very top. It looks like Paladin is the next best avatar border here, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, I don't trade for borders. I've clicked back over into the decals tab right here, and additionally, something that's really cool is we can sort by rarity. So if you want to see the black market decals only, then it will just show you the black market decals. If you want to just see the exotics, it'll show you the exotics. Import, very rare, rare, uncommon, limited, etc. Personally, my favorite filter that I use, I go to all, and then I come over to filter by series, and I go down to the current and present Rocket Pass that we're on. We're on Rocket Pass 8, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Rocket Pass 8, and now I know the value of every single Rocket Pass item that is currently in existence and that is most likely in our inventory. If you're wondering how I make thousands and thousands of credits just by trading basic Rocket Pass items from the present season, check out my other video. I go real in depth on why that is a better option than trading black markets. When you're a new trader, it's difficult to find items in your inventory to trade for a profit. What you have to do is you have to take the limited resources you have, buy an item, and try and flip it. Now the key is to find the right item to flip. Just because you can get an item at a lower price than what it says on Rocket League Insider doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good item to trade. How can you identify whether or not an item is good to trade or is going to be easy to flip after you buy it at a low price? I'll show you. Over here on my left, where it says color code, we have paint and volatility. Paint is always going to be the default option that is selected when you enter the Rocket League Insider webpage. When you click volatility, the spreadsheet changes colors. There's only going to be 3 colors that show up when you are in the volatility, and that is different shades of red, different shades of green, and white. Now, what does this mean? If we hover over this volatility settings tab, we get this window that pops up. We have both quantitative and qualitative measures. Now, they're pretty fancy words for meaning very simple things, so let's break these down. Qualitative settings show how much every item value changed within the selected period of time. For example, green color indicates that an item has increased in value during that time, and red indicates a loss in value. Is it worth more credits than it used to be, or is it worth less? Then we have the option to select over what course of time this qualitative change has taken place. As you can see right here, I have the option between 24, 3 days, 2 weeks, 3 months. I'm gonna go ahead and click on 2 weeks because as you can see, there's a lot of white, which means not a whole lot has changed over the course of 24 hours. It looks like a few different painted variants of items have, but if we click on 2 weeks, we're gonna see a lot more action going on here. How intense the shading of the cell is determines how greatly of an increase or decrease the value of the item has over the past 2 weeks. For example, this black woofer has substantially dropped value over the last 2 weeks. The pink woofer has gained value over the last 2 weeks, so it's a good sign. On the other hand, we have quantitative, which is just as important. I know you're thinking, oh, another thing that's confusing, but just bear with me. Rocket League Insider defines quantitative as settings show which items perform best and worst during that period of time. For example, deep green coloring means that an item has performed better than 95% of all items, and vice versa, deep red means that an item was among the worst performing 5%. In this model, green and red do not necessarily mean that an item is actually gained or lost value, but they show that the item did better or worse than other items. What this is signifying in quantitative is how many. Thus, there have been more pink woofers sold over the past 2 weeks than there have been cobalt woofers. I hope that's clear. So quantitative is going to tell you how many of that item sold. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. If it's green, it sold a lot. If it's red, it did not sell much at all. Where qualitative and quantitative meet, you have found the holy grail of items to be buying and selling. You want to buy and sell items that have a very high quantitative measurement, so there's a lot of them being traded, bought, sold, etc. And you also want to buy the ones that are rising in value. There is a risk to buying an item that has a low qualitative value and a high quantitative value. You want both high quantitative and high qualitative. If you buy an item that has a low qualitative value and a high quantitative value, sure, you might be able to flip it, but there's a chance you might actually end up losing money on that. For example, if this spin wheel was both qualitative high and quantitative high, then you want to buy it at as cheap of a price as you can because you know the value is actually rising and you know a lot of people are buying it. If it was a gray spin, I'm going to buy this at 20 below market now. Now you might be asking, why would you buy 20 beneath the minimum if the minimum is available, people are selling it? Well, that's because of a thing called negotiation. When I go and try and buy this item, I'm not necessarily going to buy it for 20 beneath, but I'm going to post and ask for 20 beneath because someone is always going to ask for more money. By you posting for 30 credits on a 50 credit item, you'll likely get it for 50 credits. I have a whole nother video on this, another concept I don't want to dive too far into, but I'm trying to give you an idea of how you can use this to your advantage. This is by far the most crucial key of Rocket League Insider, more so than the prices themselves. Because prices can change and you can maybe get an item for a much better deal than you expect, but knowing what item to buy so that you can flip that quick and get your return on investment and be able to buy things you actually want, like black market decals, for your inventory. Currently the date is February 15, 2021 as I record this, and I'm looking at it here, and if you wanted to defy me and just buy black markets, that's all up to you, but do me a favor, if you're gonna buy one, use this tool, jump back and forth between qualitative and quantitative and identify, oh look, Magma, a cheap decal, is actually worth buying and trading because one, it's being sold at a higher quantity than normal and it's increasing in value slightly. Another really cool feature that Rocket League Insider offers is this item details page. What this is a global database that they have created that allows you to view every single item within Rocket League. This way you can actually preview the item before buying it and being like, I don't actually like this. Let's say I wanted to see what a colored variant of the Fennec actually looks like. Well, all I have to do is type in Fennec. It'll bring me up to the Fennec page, and then I can click on this and get an idea of what the stock default Fennec looks like, or I can come down to here, let's say a Crimson Fennec. Now I have an idea of what the Crimson Fennec looks like and which parts of the body are actually painted. This works for all items as well. I'll click on this Radrock Gold Explosion and I can watch a video of it to see what it looks like. I love this feature because now you don't actually have to wait for someone to make a YouTube video to actually see what the item looks like. Rocket League Insider does it for you, so you know what you're buying and you will actually know if you want this item before you trade for it. There are also additional fields you can look at, lots of other metadata that you can identify and use to help leverage you in trades. Like I said though, I think the qualitative versus quantitative is really going to be your bread and butter if you're just trying to trade and flip particular items. We can also see what's in the Rocket Pass, so I'll click on this Rocket Pass tab, and now I can see every item within the Rocket Pass. I can get a visual inspection of it right here. This is a great tool and I'm really glad Rocket League Insider added this. Last but not least, there is a final tool that most people who go onto Rocket League Insider don't actually know about, and that is the Trade Finder tool. Up here in the top right corner, there's the Trade Finder tab. Now, I don't actually know if Rocket League Insider owns this or made this website, but this website also seems to go hand in hand with Rocket League, because if I click price guide here, it brings me back to Rocket League Insider. This is a live database that is updating the most recent trades, both buying and selling, across all platforms and on all different mediums. You can see the latest trades from Rocket League Garage, Reddit, Steam, all the Discord channels that you go on that you shouldn't be going on if you've watched enough of my videos. Let's say Rocket League Garage doesn't have an item. Maybe there's someone posting that same item on Reddit. You just don't know. This is how you would find it. As we're sitting here, this is just updating right now before our eyes. I don't know how they do it, but it's awesome. Really utilize this because this is how you can find some really good deals. If you see something on here that you like or that you found using this search function over here, then you just go ahead and click on the hyperlink and it will pull you to that exact trade. From there, you can message that person and get the trade rolling, use RL Insider, spreadsheet, identify whether it's qualitative versus quantitative, if it's worth it, if it's a good trade, and then you'll make money, and then things will happen, and you go from here to there, to there, to there. And with that, you now know everything you need to know and ever will need to know about Rocket League Insider. Everything from pricing to understanding what items to buy to how to leverage it to get better deals. If you just go on Rocket League Garage and start buying shit left and right, trying to flip them, you're gonna have a bad time. Make sure before you buy those items on Rocket League Garage that you come on here, check the qualitative versus quantitative, and then determine whether or not it is a good item to buy. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did like this video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch. And hey, don't you damn forget to come play with me on Wednesdays in Rocket League, playing with viewers. Oh yeah, and Discord, get in there. We have a good time in there. Until next time, I'm Blue Belt Doc, and this has been a Rocket League Insider tutorial. Peace out, y'all.